Today we are taking a look at the new Fortnite figure, Gray Feather. Found this figure at Target for about $10. He comes with a single accessory, the Razor Wing harvesting tool, and it kind of, if you ask me, looks like a gun, just a little bit. So we'll gear him up. I'm going to show you what he looks like holding it first of all, since, well, that's what we got. So I don't know if he actually holds it like this, or if maybe he's supposed to hold it like this, or if he's supposed to hold it like that. I really don't know. But either way, he holds it, and he holds it well. He's only got 3 fingers. This figure is about 4 inches tall, just like all the other Jazwares figures, and there's Master Key version 1 to show you about the height of this figure. Next, let's take a peek at the articulation. The box says 28 points right there. And we'll see if there's actually 28 points. As we get into this, I will mention this is figure number 183. We're getting up there in released figures from Jazwares. This is pretty cool. The head rotates back and forth. I can't get it to go back and forth at all. It's really stuck. There's a lot of stuff going on up here. So his head does not nod up or down. If you want him to raise his arms, that's as far as they go. As you can see, they go up about that far, and that's it. The rotation is there, and the elbow has a rotation and a hinge. He has a pretty good, close to 90 degrees, I would say, if you want. He's a little wobbly, and I'll show you why in a minute. The wrist has a rotation and a hinge as well, so that works pretty good. Now, this is why he's a little wobbly. Right here, he's got a ball joint in the lower waist area, which makes this quite wobbly and quite articulated. I don't know if there's an articulation point up here in the rib cage area. I haven't been able to find it. I've tried twisting him a little bit, but this is so easy to twist down here that I don't know. If you want him to do the splits, well, you're not in luck, because that's about as far as he goes. You can spread his legs a little bit, but they will pop back down due to this nice soft rubber piece that's around his hips. If you want him to sit, that's about what you're looking at right there. He's not going to sit very well. He does have thigh rotations hidden up here, but if you go very far, it's going to pop the legs off. It just seems seems how it works, and so that's about what you've got for a rotation, just a little bit back and forth. He's got a single pin at the knee right there, and he can bend his leg down about that far. It does kind of feel like the joint, the place where the knee connects to the lower leg, you might be able to twist a little bit, but I don't think that's really an actual articulation point. So if you notice that yourself, I wouldn't stress that out too much. Finally, finishing down here at the ankles, you can pivot his ankles back and forth like that, and you can rotate. Sorry, not rotate, you can hinge like that, up and down. He's got some amazing hinging. Probably the best hinge of any Fortnite figure out there. It's just crazy how far up and down they go. He's a little difficult to stand. You gotta get in position just right, so like about there. On his feet there are some holes, so you can fit him onto a figure stand, a building material figure stand. He does have a hole on his back as well for some back bling, so maybe someday we'll get his back bling, or if you've got plenty of others, you can put a jetpack or whatever that you might have on there. Pretty cool. I really am excited for this figure because I like the character in the game. I think the character in game is really pretty awesome. So I will say that I think they missed something, and I'm going to point that out to you now. And maybe they didn't, but I think they might have. So we'll take a little bit closer look here at the face. And if you notice, there's really no paint up here in this face area whatsoever. Now, in-game, he's got a couple kind of glowy purple eyes, so you'd think there might be some paints up there for the eyes. There is purplish paint down here in this torso, the rib spine area, and in-game he glows there. So I'm surprised that there's nothing actually painted up there. As for maybe some fragile parts, right here on his forearms, he's got these feathers that are sticking out, attached to some little bar here. And I would think there was the possibility, if these get snagged, these could rip off. This upper area is made of kind of the soft same rubber that down here is made of. So it goes up all the way over to his chest area. I don't know if this will snag and rip off. This is attached back in here to the actual torso portion. So I'm not sure if that's going to be a problem, if that could possibly rip off someday. But just kind of pointing those things out so you have an idea. How fragile is this figure? I honestly don't know how fragile this one is. Dummy, I would say, is probably close to being just about the same level of fragility. And it could just be that this pops off a lot. This pops off a lot on my figure. If I go too far, he pops right off. I think if that happens too much, then this joint is going to kind of give up someday. And what I mean by that is putting the ball joint in that little cup area, I think is going to eventually not hold the upper torso very well. And this is going to become very, very wobbly. So the right arm on mine up here at the shoulder, it's a little bit difficult to get it to rotate. I'm probably going to heat this up. Learning from my past experience with Dummy, I would probably recommend to anybody, if you don't want to heat up a figure, articulate it very gently at first, because there are some points that they might be stiff. And if you have any slight hesitation, I highly recommend heating this figure just to make sure that nothing does break, because there's nothing worse than getting a brand new figure. You open it up and you start to move an arm or leg, and then the thing just snaps or breaks. So I might recommend, if you've got any concern about parts moving, heat that figure up. Shouldn't take a lot. You could get some hot water and dunk it for about 30 seconds, pull it out, and then gently manipulate the joint, and that should help you. So I've had a few figures break, and that's the reason why I mentioned that. Either way, I think the design is really awesome, and I really like this look. I really like the blue colors, and I like the gold bits here on the knees. And for the color that's here, I like the color, and I like the design. Anyway, now it's your turn. What do you think about this figure? Leave your thoughts down below in the comments section. Thank you for stopping by. I will see you in the next video.